Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the webinar today, Accounting for Your Career. Heard McElroy Vestal is excited to bring you these monthly webinars where we tackle various career readiness topics. So we're really excited that you've joined us for today. Before we get started, I want to introduce one of my former students and now colleagues, Emily Colvin, who is employed with HMV, is going to tell a little bit about her story.
Thank you, Jessica. As Jessica said, my name is Emily Colvin. I started here at HMV in September of 2020. I'm in the audit department, so I'm an audit senior now. I'm coming up on 4 years. I just finished my fourth busy season, which time has just flown on by. I went to Louisiana Tech University, as Jessica said. I received my Bachelor's of Science in Accounting in the fall of 2018 and went on to graduate with my MBA in March of 2020, right before COVID, and then came here to HMV that fall. How I got to HMV, I had heard about HMV. I had some good friends that had moved over to Shreveport to join their audit department, and I really wasn't sure if I wanted to go public accounting or if I wanted to pursue an industry job, but I did know that Shreveport area was probably far enough away from home from me. I'm a homebody girl. I love Ruston. All of my family is there. And so I thought, might as well try it out. I don't really want to go Big Four. This firm seems like a good size for me. And it really has been. It's stuck. I've really enjoyed it. I've gotten to know a lot of people in our community, getting to plug in here in Shreveport, Bossier. I've joined the Junior League, and I volunteer with some other organizations associated with our firm, and done some other nonprofit work as well. I really enjoy being in the audit department. It's given me a kind of a different view of accounting, and getting to investigate and really dig into the numbers on the financial statements of our clients. With HMV, a firm that's our size, you get to work with several different industries rather than being pigeonholed into one industry. So one week I might be working on a not-for-profit, or a governmental entity, and then the next week I'm working on a bank or a credit union. And so you really get exposed to different methods of accounting, different industries, and you get to meet a lot of different people, which I've really enjoyed. Getting to do that, and like I said, not being pigeonholed, not having to be, you just work on banks or you just work on electrical companies. So that's been really, really neat. I know today's topic is about networking, so I really am excited that y'all have decided to join, and listen to what Jessica has to say. Of course, networking is huge in the business world, in the public accounting world, but really in any career that you might pursue. So we're really excited to have y'all, and I hope you continue to join us for our career readiness webinars.
Emily, before you hop off, you mentioned organizations that you are involved in with HMV. That is one of my favorite things about HMV is the emphasis on the community, right? So it's
Yes.
not just about our people and our clients, but our communities that we serve, right. Is a huge pillar of HMV. Do you want to talk about the partnership with communities and schools and how you get to participate in that?
Yeah, absolutely. So HMV, like Jessica says, we partner with the communities and schools program. We get to go tutor some underserved students at a local elementary school. And that is like an every week thing, but because of how busy our schedules are, we team up with another person, maybe in another department, and we take turns going weeks. So I've really gotten to build a relationship with a second grade student there at the elementary school that we go to, and we get to do some reading, and do flashcards and things with them, and just really get to build another connection, with the community. And that is very heartwarming. I feel like, I remember leaving my first tutoring session and going, wow, I really needed that today. And it's great because HMV does, like Jessica said, they encourage that. And that is time well spent, time they allow me to take away from work, to go do that and go give back to our community, in an area that really needs it. They do really value education. We have some other programs where we get to give back financially to the community as well. And I think education and childhood literacy and those kinds of things are programs that HMV really supports by with the money that we give back.
Absolutely. Okay, Emily. Well, we are going to let you get back to the workload that you have today. Thank you so much for talking about your HMV story. And students, we're going to go ahead and jump right into LinkedIn. Thank you, Emily.
Thank y'all for having me. Have a good one.
All right. Now I want to just kind of give you a little bit of background on these webinars. So prior to coming to HMV and serving as their university relations representative, where I am going to all schools and talking with students about opportunities with HMV and the internships and the full-time opportunities that we have available, I was employed at Louisiana Tech in their College of Business, serving as the Executive Director of Student Services and Placement for 8.5 years. And so for 8 years, I was in the trenches with students as they navigated their careers. I saw how important these topics were in helping students become prepared, doing the things that they needed to do over the 4 years that they were in college so that when they graduated, they were qualified, they were skilled, their networks were strong. And so these are all topics that I'm incredibly passionate about. We're going to cover different topics every month, and we certainly welcome suggestions. So if there's something you are wanting to hear more about, please feel free to reach out. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump into networking. All right, so networking is all about establishing the connections that you need to succeed academically, succeed in your career. This is probably the main reason you're going to college, is to develop everything that you need to graduate and begin in the workforce. And networking is a huge piece of that. Unfortunately, we get told over and over and over again, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And there is some truth to that. Of course, education and skills and certifications and all of those are things incredibly valuable that I don't want to take any merit away from. But networking and building relationships and understanding just how important it is to surround yourself with a community of people is such a vital part of your future career success. And so we're really going to dive into networking and just why that is so valuable. So pop quiz. Kidding, not really. What percentage of jobs are not advertised? So a lot of times students will say, why? Why do I have to talk about networking? Why do I have to talk about building relationships? And the answer is because 80% of jobs are not advertised. Really, the only way to tap into this hidden job market is networking, building relationships with individuals that are in the career field that you one day want to enter. So why networking? Because you want to be employed. All right. So what is networking? We hear the topic all the time. Networking is just another name for saying the relationships you build in the classroom, relationships that you build at networking events where maybe a career fair or an event where you're meeting professionals in your field. Networking is formalizing that relationship that you're building. And so it is an ongoing process. You'll never network really, really hard one semester or quarter and go, all right, now I've done networking for the rest of my collegiate career. Networking is something you are constantly doing. You are constantly pouring into those relationships, and it's all about follow-up. So just meeting someone at an event is not really classified as networking. The magic happens in the follow-up of that. So it really is important that, yes, you put yourself out there, you go to events, you take the opportunity to speak to guest speakers when they come in your classes. Those are all really important steps. But following up with those connections, either through email or LinkedIn, and we're going to talk more about LinkedIn in just a moment, that is such a valuable piece of actually building the relationship, taking it from an interaction to actually building a relationship with an individual and networking. All right, so we think about networking. Networking can be done both in person and it can be done online, for example, LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about that more in just a little bit. But in-person networking is something that you have to be ready for at any moment. So when we think about networking in person, that can be running into an individual on the elevator that is working at an organization that you one day want to work at, or running into someone at the grocery store and you see the logo on their shirt and that's somewhere you want to intern this summer. Or maybe it is attending a career fair and networking that way. An elevator pitch is such an important part of this. So what is an elevator pitch? It is a quick 30-second infomercial of who you are and what you have to contribute. It talks about your skills, your interests, your future goals. It's essentially answering, tell me about yourself. All right. So your elevator pitch is like a highlight reel. It's all of the things that you have to contribute. Now, one of the things that is important with an elevator pitch is that you don't want it to sound too rehearsed or robotic. The last thing you want to do is lose your personality and lose your communication in trying to worry about making sure that you say it exactly as you wrote it out. So my recommendation is to create an elevator pitch script, but then make it very fluid. Have bullet points more than paragraphs and full sentences. That way you don't get hung up on saying exactly what you have written out. You want it to sound very conversational. So this is what an elevator pitch typically sounds like. Hi, my name is, and I will be graduating in blank with a bachelor's degree in supply chain. I'm very interested in an internship this summer with your organization. As you can see from my resume, I've had the opportunity to develop skills in inventory management by taking a specific class. You can talk about an academic skill, or you can talk about a former internship. Another thing that's really relevant is transferable skills. So transferable skills are skills that you developed through a work experience that may not be directly related to the type of internship or position that you're applying for, but certainly transfers over. So that might be being a barista at a coffee shop, and now you're going into a position where you're going to be communicating with clients. Well, those are two very different positions, but also very transferable skills. And then you always end the elevator pitch with kind of directing the conversation. I would love to talk with you about internships, or could you tell me more about the timeline that your organization has to recruit for? Something so that whoever you're speaking with knows how to jump into the conversation. So this elevator pitch is something that I often challenge people that anytime you hit a red light, practice your elevator pitch. It's something that you can do that if you're disciplined with, it becomes second nature, and it's something you get very comfortable saying. So whenever you're attending an in-person networking event like Career Day, where you know you're going to be giving this elevator pitch script over and over and over again, it's really easy to be prepared for that type of scenario. But I challenge you to know your elevator pitch so well that if you run into someone at the grocery store or hop on the elevator and there's someone that you've been wanting to speak with, you're so comfortable with that elevator pitch that you can just give that script without really having to worry about, oh, I wonder what I should say or how I should present myself. It's just second nature to give that. All right, so what's in it for me, right? We all want to know, why is this important? We already talked about 80% of jobs are on the hidden job market, meaning they're not posted online. They're not in Indeed, LinkedIn, Job, Career Builder, Monster, places like that. So you really have to network in order to tap into that hidden job market. But there's other benefits as well. Relationships can really give you leverage whenever you go into a job search. So having someone to refer you for a position can really give you a leg up and help you get noticed when there's hundreds of applicants for a position. It allows you to be informed. You're able to know about openings that are coming available, about industries that are specifically in demand and might be increasing their hiring. It gives you visibility for future opportunities. And then again, referrals, recommendations by people that you trust. So really a strong network is equivalent to a shorter job search. And I have seen this over and over again. I mentioned that I was at Louisiana Tech for 8 years, and I truly saw the students that invested in building relationships with their classmates, with their professors, with the employers that visited their classrooms, attending networking events. They had a much shorter job search, many of which had job opportunities before they even walked across the stage for graduation. All right, so we talked about in-person networking. Now we're going to talk about LinkedIn. I would say that a LinkedIn profile is an absolute must. It is the world's largest online professional network. 93% of recruiters use LinkedIn for hiring purposes. So it's absolutely an essential component. Think of a resume as like, it's just a must, right? You have to have a resume. Well, a LinkedIn profile is equally as important. There is a really great way for you to present yourself online to an employer through your LinkedIn profile. It just allows you that professional digital presence that you get to control the narrative. And so it really is a no-brainer. A LinkedIn profile is an absolute must. And it's something that you need to begin developing early on in your collegiate career. Don't wait until you're graduating to create a LinkedIn profile. You want to be building that network, building those connections, getting practice in creating posts and commenting on others' dialogues. That way, you're really comfortable by the time it matters and you're graduating and you need an opportunity. All right, so we're going to actually switch in a moment to LinkedIn so I can show you all of these things. But a profile consists of several things. A photo, you want to make sure it's a professional photo. It doesn't have to be professionally done by a photographer. You can actually go to a blank wall and take a photo of yourself using your iPhone. That's totally okay. You just don't want it to be a group photo. I see lots of prom pictures here. You don't want a prom picture with your date cut off. Just grab an iPhone and take a picture of you up against a blank wall. That's absolutely okay. Your header statement, I'm going to show you in just a few moments. This is sort of like how you want to be known on LinkedIn. If you don't customize this header statement, it automatically defaults to whatever your current job is. For those of you that are in college, maybe your current job is a babysitter or a barista at a coffee shop or a bouncer at a bar, or whatever it is. That's probably not how you want to be known on LinkedIn. So really customizing that header statement for the types of opportunities you're looking for, what kind of degree program you're studying, that can be really valuable. Your professional summary is the part that humanizes you. So looking at LinkedIn, it can be really difficult to determine who might be a better candidate when you're looking at all of these work experiences, and the education is quite similar for a lot of students, but the summary statement really helps you talk about your passion. It helps you talk about maybe why you chose your career field or a past internship you've done. Again, it's the humanized part of your profile. It's personal. Of course, we're not getting personal like what you like to do on the weekends. You can reference hobbies, but it should be a professional summary. So what your career goals are, maybe the experiences that you've had so far that have contributed to that. And it should really tell the story of who you are as a candidate. Relevant work experience is such an important part of the LinkedIn profile, and not just listing the jobs that you've had, but actually providing job duties. So as a recruiter, I'm now on the opposite side of LinkedIn where I am sourcing candidates and I will put in specific keywords. And LinkedIn has an automated search process. Well, it will go through hundreds of LinkedIn profiles and pull the candidates that best match the job description that I have based on what they have filled out in their profile. And so that's such a really important part, is having those work experiences detailed out so that you can increase the keyword searches, those keywords that are so valuable. Another thing is your education. That is the most important thing that you are working on right now. So showcasing your education, showcasing when you graduate, you can showcase activities that you're involved in, extracurricular involvement, leadership positions, classes that you've taken that are relevant to your career goals, and then skills and expertise. So skills are something that other members of LinkedIn can actually validate. So LinkedIn calls it endorsements. So if you list maybe a skill of yours is public speaking and a classmate has heard you give a class presentation, they can endorse you for that skill. So it's validating what you're saying you have to LinkedIn. Another thing is creating joining groups and creating a opportunity for you to connect with others that are interested in the same things that you're interested in. So maybe you want to be an accountant one day. You can actually find groups for public accounting, for auditing specifically, or whatever you're interested in. Joining groups allows you to stay in tune with what's going on in that profession. You get to hear firsthand from people that are doing those things. It's just a really great way to connect on LinkedIn. Another thing is recommendations. So you can actually ask for recommendations for people that you have worked with. That can be a professor, that can be a classmate, that can be someone that you served in a student organization with, a mentor. And the beautiful thing about those LinkedIn recommendations is they live there forever on your profile. And so you can actually see all of the recommendations that you've been given on your profile. Another great thing about LinkedIn is that you can add examples of your writing, a portfolio. Maybe you're a marketing major and you want to upload some graphics that you've done. Maybe you went and presented at a specific conference and you want to include photos from that. It really allows you to zhuzh up those experiences that you just don't have the liberty to do with a resume, a plain paper resume. So adding photos and links and articles and things like that. And then your LinkedIn URL. So your LinkedIn URL can be customized and put on your resume, which I highly recommend. That signals to an employer, hey, I've got more to tell you than just what fits on this one page. So take a look at my LinkedIn URL and you can find more information there. I would encourage you to customize it with your first and last name, maybe major, and make it really easy for employers to navigate to that. If you don't customize your LinkedIn URL, it gives you just this long string of numbers and letters and can be a little more difficult for an employer to navigate to. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and jump into LinkedIn. Excuse me. We're going to talk about informational interviewing. We're going to talk about sending connection requests. And I really think that this is just best for us to jump in and let you take a look. So what I have here is my LinkedIn profile, and that will allow you to see all of the different components of the LinkedIn profile that I just mentioned. All right, so we are going to, oh, and by the way, LinkedIn is a free site to use. Yes, there are premium features that you can subscribe to on a monthly basis. Sometimes I'll tell students, you know, if you're in the middle of a job search, yeah, you may want to pay for LinkedIn Premium for a couple of months, but generally, just a free subscription of LinkedIn is all you need. All right, so you'll see I have a professional headshot here. This is just a little graphic that you can put on the back end if you don't have one. It just defaults to a regular box. I've seen students where they've went in and put some really cool little graphics back there. You can highlight maybe a graphic from your university. That's also really cool to do. Here is that header statement. So again, it defaults to your most recent job. So that really allows you to customize it if you don't want to be known on LinkedIn for your current title. So for students, I have seen seeking a supply chain internship for summer 2024, or accounting student at Louisiana Tech interested in full-time opportunities in public accounting. So you can really tailor that to what you're interested in. Another section is this about section. So I talked about this being the part that humanizes you. It's the part that tells your story. So it really is, it's worth spending a little time here. Don't just, throw down a couple of sentences that just make you look lazy. Spend some effort here to tell your story, who you are, and what you're interested in doing in the future. All right, so a next part of your profile that I want to show you is your experience section. If you list your job title and the company, you will put your dates that you have been employed there. For those of you that are in college, part-time roles, volunteer roles. Many of you are in student organization leadership positions that are quite time consuming. That's okay to put in this experience section as well. But what I want to see is bullet points that detail out what you did in these roles. So here, for my position at Louisiana Tech, you'll see quantifiers. Quantifiers are things that really give the scale to what those job duties were. So this is something that we talked very in depth about in the last webinar, resumes and cover letters. You will actually see this is copied and pasted directly from my resume. So there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Whatever you put on your resume, copy and paste that straight to your LinkedIn profile. I mentioned that you can include articles and links and videos and things like that. So you'll actually see I've got a few that are listed from my time at Louisiana Tech. Another part is your education section. You can certainly list organizations that you were involved in, activities and societies, licenses or certifications. Again, I mentioned skills where others can endorse. So here are skills that I've listed, leadership, and then this is a former student of mine, Ryder Miller, who endorsed me for that skill. So that is really, really cool. Recommendations are something that you can also see. So here is a recommendation that I have received, and here are recommendations that I have given personally to others in my network. And so that really allows you to demonstrate your ability to work with others. And so that's an important part of the profile. Another thing that you can do is you can follow specific groups. You can follow people. And so that just allows you to show off your connectedness. All right, so networking. First things first, you've got to build the profile. So my recommendation would be sign up for a free account, take your headshot on your cell phone, go ahead and create that profile and get it started before you start reaching out to individuals. You really want a fully built out profile before you begin networking. All right, now that we have our profile built out, I'm going to show you how you can connect with people that you might be interested in connecting with. All right, so we are going to use Louisiana Tech University just as an example here, but you'll use whatever university you're currently attending. So I often have students that say, I'm very interested in becoming an accountant one day, or a web developer, or a digital marketer. Insert whatever career interest you have. But they'll say, I don't know of anyone that's actually doing that job, to have the conversation and learn more about it and ask questions. I don't know anyone that's doing what I want to do. Well, even though you don't know everyone that is an alumni of the university that you're attending, going to the alumni page for your university is a great place to start, because even though you don't know them, there's this sense of connection. There's this shared interest in them wanting you to be successful because you're from their alma mater. So we oftentimes will begin with the alumni page. So here is where you can begin finding people that are in the future career goal, future career path that you are interested in pursuing. All right. So I jokingly say that this is professional stalking, but you'll see really quickly just how crazy it is that you can drill down and find people that are studied the degree that you studied, that are in the town that you're interested in going into, that work for companies that you want to work for. So here it is, the Louisiana Tech Find Alumni page. Let's say we are interested in finding out what we can do with a specific degree. So here is finance, for example, or information and technology, arts and design. You pick whatever you're interested in. You can even choose what they are skilled at, what they studied. So for example, if you're an accounting major and you want to see, all right, everyone that had graduated in accounting that are living in Texas, where are they going to work at? So you can really be detailed on drilling down that alumni database to people that match the criteria that you're interested in. All right, so let's say we're interested in looking at accounting and we want to live in Dallas. All right, so HMV does not have any locations in the Dallas, Texas market. So you're not going to see Heard McElroy and Vestal pop up here. We have locations in Shreveport, Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana, and in Longview, Texas. So you're not going to see HMV, but I did want to just do a slight plug for us. All right, so let's say we were interested in accounting in Dallas, Texas, and we were wanting to see what types of positions our alumni are in. You can scroll down and it's going to signal or select all of the Louisiana Tech alumni that are in Dallas, Texas that studied accounting. We can actually throw in keywords. Maybe you are interested in fraud. Now it's narrowed it down to 6 alumni that meet that criteria. Maybe you were involved in a fraternity or a sorority. You can actually type in what sorority or fraternity or what student organization. So Chi Omega, now we've pulled 4 alumni that are part of this sorority. And so what this allows you to do is find people that are in the career goals that you want to pursue, that are in the geographic location that you want to pursue, maybe a common indicator like a sorority or fraternity, or maybe you were on the intramural frisbee team or whatever it is, some shared connection so that you can reach out. And so now what we can do is we can reach out to people and we can say, hi, I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. I am a student at Louisiana Tech University studying in accounting. I have a desire to move to Dallas, Texas after I graduate. I was in this sorority, Chi Omega. I see that you also were in that sorority. As a fellow sister, I would love to talk with you about what you do in your career, what skills it takes to be successful, any specific classes you would encourage me to take while I'm in college. Would you be willing to spend 15 minutes with me over the phone or video call to learn more about your career? So what this allows you to do is begin building relationships with people that are then going to help you in your job search or your internship search. So it's such an important part. Now, for those of you, as I was giving that script of like, hi, my name is, and I'm interested in, and you're like, I need to pause the video because I don't know exactly what I would say. You can actually use artificial intelligence. So I'll show you that right here. So ChatGPT, it is absolutely okay to go to your LinkedIn profile, copy and paste everything that, let's see, your work experiences. So we can copy and paste some work experiences, or maybe your resume. You can copy and paste your resume. Let's see, I'm going to include this summary of the about section. So we can copy and paste this part right here and say, here is my LinkedIn about section. Bear with me, I can't type while people are watching. I am interested in switching careers to digital marketing and have found several alumni from my university that I would love to do an informational interview with. Give me a script to send them a LinkedIn connection request. asking for a time to chat. And so what this is going to do, it's going to use who you are, and it's going to allow you to create this little message that you can use so you don't have to start from scratch. Now, artificial intelligence is really great because it allows you a starting point, but it's absolutely not the end point, all right? So it's going to give you a template that you can use, but you're going to need to customize that template based on who you are and what your career goals are and the person that you're reaching out to. So this is a really great way to get a script to begin with. All right. Now, another thing that I want to show you is, so we looked at reaching out to a specific university and looking at alumni. Another thing that you might be interested in doing is reaching out for a specific company. Maybe you've always wanted to work for the organization Waste Management. And I use this as an example because I actually had a student that was her goal. She always wanted to work for the organization Waste Management. Oh, nope, this is not the right Waste Management. Okay, so here we are. So Waste Management, let's say we've always wanted to work for this organization. We can use the same methodology that we used for LinkedIn, find alumni, to look for a specific organization and then find people that work within that organization. So let's say we were interested in living in California. Well, now we can narrow it down to people that are in that specific company that you want to go to work for, in that geographic location that you want to live in. And then we can even type in a career. Oh, we got to be able to spell accounting. That was apparently not a requirement for me to take a role at a public accounting firm. All right, so accounting. So now what we've done is we've narrowed it down to people that that meet that specific criteria. All right, so it is absolutely okay for you to reach out to people on LinkedIn and say, hey, I think I am interested in doing this. Of course, I'm in college and I'm still trying to figure out exactly what my career goals are and what I should do with my major and what best suits my personality and skill set. And I would love to chat with you about what you do on a daily basis. So that really is a great way for you to begin building relationships, making connections, having conversations about your career. So I mentioned very early on, 80% of jobs are not posted online. And so we talk about tapping into that hidden job market and the importance of networking. Y'all, 1 in 12 informational interviews result in a job offer. Let me say that one more time. 1 in 12 informational interviews result in a job offer. An informational interview is just a conversation about a future career. It's talking with someone that's doing what you want to do. So we think about networking and informational interviews and how is this going to actually get me a job? Well, it's actually going to be more productive and more fruitful than you going on a job search site and just applying to 200 positions. 1 in 200 resumes are selected online. 1 in 200 resumes are submitted online for a single posting, and 1 in 12 informational interviews result in a job offer. So that really shows us that if we are serious about our internship search or our job search, then we should be very serious about networking, and we should be very serious about having conversations with people that are doing what we want to do. So LinkedIn has some other really cool features. You're able to find I mentioned alumni. You can see the news feed. So these are people that are in your network and what they're posting about. Again, this is how you stay up to date on your industry or career plans. You can actually send connection requests to specific people. So let's say I wanted to send a connection request to someone that was an alumni of Louisiana Tech. So we're just going to go to Louisiana Tech. We're going to type in alumni. Let's say, for example purposes, we are interested in digital marketing. So we're going to choose digital marketing. And let's say we want to live in New Orleans. So now what I have done is I have narrowed it down to Louisiana Tech alumni in digital marketing that are in New Orleans. And so now let's say I am interested in connecting with this individual right here. You can send without a note. However, I highly encourage you to write a LinkedIn message. And LinkedIn has really gotten on the artificial intelligence train, and they've started allowing that capability in their messaging. Again, if you don't feel comfortable with a starting point, or you don't know what to say, just use AI for a starting point. I want to send a connection request. So we can say, I want to send a connection request to an alumni that is in my career field I want to pursue. Give me a quick intro. So here we go. Here's a quick little message that you can use as a framework or a starting point. Okay, so sending connection requests is really important. You can follow companies. You can check out companies. You can take a look at what organizations are posting on LinkedIn. I heard McElroy Vestal, for example, we're a public accounting firm. So you will see, this is the organization that I work for, but you can see what my colleagues are posting. You can take a look at their about section and see what is there. You can take a look at the types of jobs we have available. You can see the people that work for a specific organization. Let's say you want to know, I wonder if this specific company ever hires accountants or whatever it is. Well, look on LinkedIn and see the types of job titles that their people have. And that's going to give you a really good indication of their future hiring. All right, so we've talked about LinkedIn, we've talked about networking and building relationships. Now, actionable steps. As students, I would highly encourage you to create your LinkedIn profile and completely fill it out. Maybe you created a profile a year ago and you just haven't looked at it since. It's time to dust off that profile, add in as much content as you can, photos, links, publications, start sharing content on LinkedIn. You can take a picture of a class presentation that you're doing and say, I just wanted to share that today my classmates and I are giving a presentation on blank. Like it can be as simple as that. Maybe you're volunteering in your community. Share a post about that. You can even share a post that you're networking and you're wanting to begin adding connection requests and find people that are in a specific profession to have informational interviews. All of those are great uses of LinkedIn. All right, so your challenge, create your LinkedIn profile or brush it up and let's get it completely updated. And then secondly, start reaching out to people that are in the geographic region that you're interested in, that are in the career goals or career path that you're interested in and begin having conversations. Not everyone is going to respond to a request to do an informational interview. So it's a numbers game. You might have to reach out to 10 people to have one conversation, and that's okay. So my recommendation, create the profile and just start doing it. The more you do it, the more you post, the more connection requests you send, the more comfortable you are going to be. All right, so now what I want to do is just give anyone an opportunity to ask questions. You're welcome to put those in the comment section and feel free to direct the conversation to wherever you would like. All right, it doesn't look like we have any questions at this time, but I do want to let you know that I very much welcome any questions that you have. You're welcome to respond to any of the reminder emails that I've sent, and I would love to help you in your career journey in any way that I can. I would love to, of course, recruit you into Heard McElroy and Vestal and tell you about the internships and the full-time opportunities we have available. So please feel free to reach out at any time. Very much looking forward to having you join us for next month's webinar where we tackle another career readiness topic. Thank you so much for joining.